Sander.
Together we are Fun King 3D, and we are patiently awaiting the arrival of James from Print and Play. Hopefully our audio is good. I don't know how that. I just watched the intro come in. I don't know how we did on timing there, but regardless, here we is, and
here he is. What?
Here we is.
Here he is.
That's how you say it, right?
Do you even English, bro?
Words are hard. So let me
hard.
Let me know how the audio is. Make sure you guys can see us and hear us. And we'll run down. There's a bunch of you in here already. Rover is here. Show him Skewed View 3D. Possibly show him too. And Jason, we don't know. Adam is here. Walter is here, but he is driving. So yeah, we don't want him typing in the chat. Thomas Arduino Makes is here. BB3D, confirm or deny. Your name is Brian, correct? Roy Hawley is here. James is here. Look, it's James.
I actually exist.
Look at that. Look at that. Your image is a little blue. I think your white balance is off.
No, I'm just emotionally unstable today.
Oh, okay.
Just a second. I'll see if I can fix it. This happens every time I shut down my computer now.
It's mine does it too. It's something to do with the C920 cameras don't hold their settings.
I blame this on the breakdown of society. Okay, 1 second.
All right, Robbie Mack is here. I don't know if I said Roy Hawley, but Roy Hawley is here. Our definite friend Hack Monkey is here. I love that, Hack Monkey. It's a great name. I think you should be Spaz Monkey. Paul Cumber is here, if I didn't say that already. John Mack is here. Mike Whaley is here. Will It Print 3D is here. And I think that's everybody. Now, if we can just get...
A Skewed View? Did you get a Skewed View?
I did. He was actually here very first.
Oh.
He was the very first one here.
Oh,
so, and now James is no longer looking like James. He just looks like an icon.
You can still hear me.
Better this way.
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, it is better this way. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Okay, the Logitech control panel won't open for some reason, so give me a couple more seconds.
All right. I mean, for this,
it's only because I did this in a hurry, right? Like that's what happens.
Right. I didn't give you enough notice.
Yeah. No, it's my wife had to go. She's going to San Fran next weekend, and for a conference, so she had to go get new clothing. And so we went to pick up clothing today, and the location that we went to is no longer there. So we ended. And she said, "Oh, maybe we can go sometime this week." I said, "Well, no, we're out and about now. Like, you put it off, you don't end up getting it done. You know, you end up looking like a bum when you go. It's can't allow that." So,
awesome.
Yeah, now we're scrambling, but yeah, the white balance is turned all the way down. That's the issue.
Okay.
Second, I had to fire up OBS to get into the control panel. Now, hopefully, the settings will continue.
That's what I do. I fire up OBS and I get my camera set. Oh, look at that! You look better. Now you look a little more human and less avatarish.
I'm not a robot anymore.
Like the movie Avatar is where I was going there.
Yeah.
So
Mika's already trying to get on camera. I don't know if you can see her head popping out of the side there.
Oh yeah.
I'm not her.
We got Mike. Never let the machines win is in here.
I'm just getting chat open now, so I'm able to keep track of people.
Antonio is here. Mark L. Baker is here from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Another Canadian. Yeah, we have so many.
There's over 5 of us.
There's so many. I have to quit picking on you because I don't want them to think I'm picking on them.
In case you don't know, if you're Canadian in the chat, Glenn is very anti-Canadian.
I am. I'm Canadian racist.
Yep.
It was so funny because you know, of all the people in the 3D printing community that I would consider my closest and bestest friend is you, and you weren't at my Friday night birthday live stream.
I wanted to be 110% wanted to be. I bought tickets for Avengers over a month ago. So
over a month ago. Well, we started this a year ago. We knew the birthday was coming a year ago, and but I said,
well, we technically knew the movie was coming like 3 years ago.
That is true. Yep.
But
feels weird.
I made a comment. I said, I said, I wonder where my favorite Canadian is tonight. And everybody was going, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And I'm like, well, there's a lot of Canadians in here. So, but you missed a good time. We gave away. I really thought that, like I was planning on building the E10 during that stream just to have something happening.
Yep.
I didn't realize that I would have 2 hours of just giving stuff away. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So, but I just figured that you and we hadn't done a face-to-face in quite some time. And I kind of need to know what projects I'm working on. So I figured I'd ask you what you are working on, and then I'll know what I'm working on.
No word of a lie. Like it's weird how often Glenn and I have the exact same idea. He messaged me. He's like, "Hey, can I show you like a design for something I'm working on?" And he sent it to me. I'm like, "Hey, can I provide some like feedback? Because I'm actually working on like the same idea."
It's everything. How are you doing with your mostly printed CNC machine?
I've got all the parts showing up from China, so I haven't actually started printing the parts from it, but I ordered them like a month and a half ago, so the rest of them should be here fairly soon.
Well, at least then we know we do it differently because I've printed most of mine. I think I have 4 more prints or parts to print, and it was because I ran out of black PETG. But otherwise, I have the whole thing in the bag. So
it's in the bag.
It's in the bag. So then it's just a matter of getting all the electronics in and stuff, and so it's going to be a neat project. And how big are you going?
I want to be able to cover at least a 4 feet by 2 feet cutting surface. The target for my thing is for doing wooden arcade cabinets, and I do mostly bar top, so I want to be able to cut a piece of 2x4 MDF to make the get your ass out of the camera.
Yeah, but
it's okay for me to swear because we're on your channel tonight, so it's fine. I don't have to worry about getting myself banned.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah. Gonna increase Xander's vocabulary today.
Well, now as far as doing the 4 foot run, because all of the instructions say go 2 foot by 2 foot, or no, I think it's 3 by 3 maximum without an extra leg on the run.
Yeah, I haven't exactly figured it out yet because I can't figure out how they're deeming the extra support, because obviously support put in between the top is going to interfere with the movement of the actual axis. So
yeah, well, I haven't looked into it to see if it grabs the pipe just
on one angle or whatever. Yeah,
like this, where you could have a support underneath where it went over it. I don't know if it actually goes all the way around or not. I mean,
I'm of the impression it wraps mostly all the way around, and like any support you add would have to almost wrap all the way around it anyway. So my plan right now is to build it, see how it goes. I mean, with it being mostly printed and stuff, I can change it after the fact.
Well, of course. Yeah, it's just a matter of changing all the wiring and stuff that you have running in the pipes. But my thought with the length was if you took a piece of either flat bar stock or some type of an angle aluminum or angle iron and stuck it inside the pipe to make the pipe more rigid, that you'd be able to get that 4 foot span out of there. And
they also do list that there's different materials you can use for the pipes as an upgrade that would add a little bit of stability to it. I know the price is higher though, but
I was going to say it adds a bit to the price too. Stainless right now is crazy. At least it is here in the US. It's crazy expensive.
Everything here is crazy expensive. So we'll see. I actually might buy some of the piping while I'm in the States for Earth because it looks like it would save me some money. So
yeah, well, plus then you get the US size. I don't know if your conduit pipe is the same size, but I guess around the globe it changes.
Yeah, we're still running Imperial for stuff like that, mostly because it's like usually imported and stuff like that. So, and some stuff we've kept Imperial just so it's easier to import and export to places that don't use it, because obviously our chief export place is you guys.
Right.
But so I think what I would do basically, if I'm going to do the upgrade path, is that for the 4 foot runs, I'll use it, but for everything else, I'll use the cheap stuff because it won't be necessary.
Yeah, but you never know. You might want to, go 4 by 4 or 8 by 8 or
if I opt to do that later on, like the first one will definitely I would almost guarantee it'll be 2 by 4. But if I have to replace it later on, first of all, that cheap stuff is so cheap. And second of all, I'm gonna have to take the wiring out of it anyways to add the extra, like to replace the rod anyway. So I'm not
Right.
Any further ahead or behind. The other path I might take is once the 2x4 one's done, if I want to go bigger, because they also have that low ride design that's kind of intriguing to me, I might just sell the one I've got built, configured, and ready to go to somebody, and then take the proceeds from that one and build another one.
Mad Mike 8 says foam resists compression, so it'll strengthen the pipe.
I'm having trouble. I'm gonna have to like disconnect chat because I'm trying to keep it so that your Hangout thing is forward, because otherwise it's always like 10 seconds behind and it looks like you're a disembodied voice.
Yeah, I guess he said back a little bit, expanding foam for inside pipe, which could be interesting, except for some of the pipe has wiring in it. I'm getting an echo from you.
You're getting an echo from me?
I can hear myself.
Oh, that must be terrible for you.
Yeah, I hate the way I sound.
Let me switch mics. I'm using the lapel mic, which is okay, but I think it picks up more stuff. So let's
echo. But the problem with putting the foam inside the pipe is some of the pipes have your wiring running in there. And if you foamed it, you'd never get the wires back out of it afterwards.
That is true. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess it would be worth a test. Because I mean, wire's not that expensive, so you could feed the wire down there, foam it up, and then should it ever fail, you just snip the wire off.
That's true. I mean, the wire's not expensive at all. Can you hear me? And has that eliminated the echo?
Yeah, it just makes you more echoey. No, I can still hear myself.
Oh, I don't know. Life's hard. I'm gonna have to start doing the. Is it better or worse than this current setup?
I think it's the same amount of echo, but you sound worse.
I sound worse? Oh, I can't imagine sounding worse than I do in real life.
Run small PVC for wire. It would have to be really, really. This is all. I don't know, Mike, if you know. This is all inside a 3/4 inch EMT electrical conduit. So you don't really have a ton of space in there as it is. I mean, I guess if you ran something like the diameter of a drinking straw through there, then you could feed it down through there and be able to pull it out. You just have to take the connectors off the end.
Rover says get headphones, James.
I don't need Rover's advice.
Oh. Well, you heard it in Canada, Rover, not here.
Justin said that it's all good now, so. Shane's in the house.
We got 31 people watching, so don't say anything too silly.
Oh, I say stuff silly all the time. I don't know if you caught the interview that I did with Walter. Walter had me on his channel and interviewed me, and he asked me some not necessarily hard-hitting questions, but he asked me some questions, and I just bailed it all in line. I just laid it all out there. So,
attaboy. Leave no stone unturned.
Yeah, you know what? I am me. I'm the same person in person as I am on screen. So I just let it all flow.
It's true. He's exactly the same in real life. He's this annoying, 100%.
It might be more annoying in person, but Robbie Mac's in the house.
It's true. You don't have a mute button in real life.
What's that?
You don't have a mute button in real life.
No. Well, I have a filter. It just sometimes doesn't work. So, but I was going to say that
awesome in real life and online, 100%.
Right.
I tease him, but I don't want anybody to think that I'm being serious.
He's being serious.
Nah. You're gonna cost me subscribers, man. People are gonna think I'm a jerk.
Robbie Mac is my hero right now. Ooh, aquarium tubing. That's a pretty good thought. Robbie Mac is my hero right now because he owns a roll of black Hatchbox PETG, and I can't get any, and he's gonna send it to me, which makes me
so you can finish off your prints.
Yeah, because you didn't get to see, being that you skipped my birthday stream, but that I have two of these that ended right there.
Oh, that sucks.
Had I printed only one at a time, it would have completed one, but instead I failed two.
Doesn't it just feel like you're wasting time when you don't fill up the bed as much as possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also look at it, if it fails, how much stuff I'm going to lose. So I'm a little bit more careful. Just don't bang them on the table. They're really loud.
I think it would be cool if, especially when you've got like an Octoprint setup or whatever talking to it, since it's really hard to like say don't like completely ignore G code moves and stuff like that. if you could create like a dead zone. So you're printing and you see your print fail, and then, you know, in Octoprint, you've got that grid that shows like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and it's drawing out. If you could basically drag and drop a square or something onto it that says, when you're in here, don't fire off any of the extruder commands, so that the print would continue on as normal, but where the failed part was, it just wouldn't actually extrude any plastic, so that the rest of your prints could continue without you ending up with, you know, that mess over.
Yeah, actually, or even just to be able to select it and delete it.
Well, the delete thing, I think, is the difficult part, because that the printer doesn't know that there's a model there, right? It's just step codes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like coordinates.
Yeah, so you could just say, hey, if basically when you square it off, it's like, if the X is, you know, like in this range and the Y is in this range, then don't run the extrude commands. So then, like, it would still be like moving around like it's doing it, but I think it would probably be a simpler approach than trying to say like, hey, just completely don't do these moves, because all of the moves over here affect the moves that, like, you know, because when it says, okay, like go back to object 1, it's assuming it's starting like over here and moving to here. So
interesting. Yeah, almost like if you could like draw around the area or whatever and just block out. Because I mean, sometimes I nest the parts like really, really tight. Yeah. You know, so like it couldn't just be a square box. You'd have to be able to actually
like draw a circle or whatever.
Yeah, but like be able to outline it, but that would be a cool option.
Like a dead zone type thing.
Yeah. So far, and you know, not knock on wood, you know, as synthetic and Chinese as this wood is, I've not ever really had a fail because of that. I mean, there's been a couple of fails that I can't explain because I got there so late and it was just a mess. So I don't know why it failed, but usually my fails are like I ran out of filament or the printer freaked out. So.
Yeah, I've had a couple where it's like obvious that one of the components failed or whatever, and then like you can see like where it's making that rat's nest, and then like the rat's nest ends up attached to the closest part because it's like dragging it across the bed and stuff like that. But yeah, I also usually don't load up the bed because of that reason, because I don't like wasting time. So
yeah, I want to share with you what I got the other day. I was printing a Raspberry Pi case. And it made it this far, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then attached to that was this. So with my single extruder machine, I was doing dual color because it grabbed the fan nozzle, the fan duct, it pulled it down off there and sucked it right into the print. So
well, there you go. I was trying to figure out where the yellow came from, but yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it sucked in the whole entire nozzle. So my AM8 Walter Country 3D brought me an ANET board today so I can try a different board, because the AM8 has a problem with the X, and it's been there for a long time. Most people have problems with their X, but it's been there even before I did the upgrade. And what'll happen is in the middle of a print, all of a sudden it'll just freak out, and the X will, like, it'll stop, it'll just chatter. And like sometimes it'll still move, but it's like this. Well, in this particular case, it stopped right in this, like this ridge right here is where it was just driving the nozzle. It was still pushing the filament, but it wasn't moving anymore. It was only running Y. It wasn't even lifting the Z anymore. So, but like I said, it did it before the upgrade. And now after the upgrade, I've tried a different stepper in the X. I have a new power supply, new wiring, new everything. So the only thing that I can really think that it is the main board. And when it does it, if you power cycle the printer between every print, it hasn't done it. Like I've never had it do it if I power cycle between every print. So when you first turn it on, first print's fine. So Patrick said, "Hey Glenn, hey Xander, congratulations." Oh no, that was it wasn't moving anymore. In fact, it was moving a lot less. Yeah, as long as I power cycle in between, it seems to be fine, which is really weird to me. So, and I don't like that, because I like to just print and print and print. My Prusa is on 24 hours a day, whether it's printing or not. I mean, it may not be great for it, but John Max says I almost never turn off my A8. I don't think I did before it started this problem. So I'm not blaming the A8, just for the record. I love my A8. That is not a secret. It's a fantastic printer. It does magnificent prints. I've printed a couple benchies out of it that rival the benchies that come out of my Prusa. So, but this is just a new problem that I have to get rid of. Yeah. So what else are you working on, Brother James?
Well, for the next couple of weeks, I guess, IC3D, I've been in contact with them back and forth, and they are sponsoring 3 arcade builds. So I'm designing 3 unique, distinct designs, and they're going to provide the filament and stuff, and they actually want me to build them one that they can put as a display piece at their office. So that'll be like the majority of my time for the next like probably 3 weeks to a month. And then I've got a printer design I've been working on that I'm hoping to bring to Earth if it's, like not half baked by then. if I have a functional design by the time I'm finished, then I'm going to bring it with me. And I got a table reserved that's nowhere near the size of a skewed view 3D setup, but it'll do. It'll be all right.
You just have the small junior table, not the super executive level table.
Exactly. That's 100% what it is. But yeah, so one of the arcades is for me personally. One of the arcades is for IC3D, and the other one's for Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, so that's awesome. I read that today on the Twitters, and seen that you were dealing with IC3D, and that excites me because I've now printed with both of them. Well, in fact, this blue is their blue, but this wasn't really related to them. And John Mack asked if it was bad G code, and I have to say no, because I can print it fine, and if I print the second one, it fails. If I restart the printer, it prints fine again. So I have to say no, not bad G code. Good thought though. But yeah, I think, have you had a chance to print with IC3D's filament yet, James?
I've printed with some of their black material, but as luck would have it, the extruder jammed, not related to the filament. So I haven't had a good print off of it yet, but I have the roll that they gave me when we were at Murph.
Okay.
So looking forward to getting to some of the, I think everything we're going to do is going to be in PLA. I know that they're just getting ramped up with their PETG production. But I think the plan right now is I'm coming up with, it's not going to look like a traditional arcade thing. I told them I would model it and show it to them beforehand, just in case it's a little too like far out for what they want. But I've got an idea that hopefully will allow me to integrate like all the colors of their logo and stuff into it, and actually maybe even put their logo into the design. So,
oh, very cool.
I'm pretty excited to be able to do something that's like not just like the first arcade I designed, it was like, here's the, like to get something done and it looks like familiar. The second one I've done is obviously Uncle Jesse wanted a Pac-Man cabinet, so I'm modeling it after that. But this third one's just like this idea that I have that I don't even know if it's going to work out, but it'll be fun.
Cool. Yeah. I'm bugging Sean every day about the PETG, which apparently I took off of my table. I have a whole bag of it right here. I love to rub in the fact that I got one of the first 2 rolls that they ever made, and the stuff is oh, now you have to talk. I can just punch him up. I'm just gonna punch you up. I got you steady now on the screen so that everybody can see you wearing that thing. But yeah, I love to I love to talk about the fact that I got the one of 2 rolls of this stuff, but really, I love to talk about the fact that this stuff is phenomenal as far as filament goes. And so I was bugging him again today about when we were looking at for production, because I have a couple of projects that I'm working on that cannot be named or talked about, and PETG is going to play a part in those. And so I really want it to be IC3D, but I really also need them to produce yellow. So everybody out there that likes yellow filament, reach out to IC3D and tell them that we definitely need some yellow PETG. There's too many initials in this industry.
It's Captain.
Actually, yellow filament is one of the things that because the original style, we'd like to get involved with the Pac-Man cabinet, and I said, okay, well, I would need yellow, and they don't have yellow yet. And I'm like, well, unfortunately, yellow is a pretty key part of Pac-Man. But I've got designs for like a Galaga cabinet and that stuff, which I'll use as black. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
It's
gonna figure like this for the rest of the stream.
You have to say that louder so everybody can hear that.
It's Captain Canada.
Captain Canada.
I expected better from you, man.
Oh, dude, Friday night somebody said something in the chat about Infinity Wars, and I'm like, no spoilers like that, and because I haven't seen it yet, and then somebody chimed in and said Batman dies, and then Chris Lane chimed in and said Captain Planet beats Thermos.
No, it was Captain Planet punches Thermos.
Yeah, Thermos, like like you drink soup out of Thermos. So it was,
You know what? I liked Captain Planet. I'm one of those weird Canadian guys that likes Captain Planet. You know,
it was just one of those. It was just one of those. Like the bad spoilers. Like untrue spoilers or bad movie title.
I think the funniest I've seen for spoilers so far is somebody posted a spoiler on it was like a royal wedding thing, and it was like, can we talk about how? And it was like this long spoiler of like something big that happens in the movie. And my wife read it, but we'd already seen the movie, so it wasn't a big deal. But then somebody posted a screenshot of that to Reddit saying some people are the worst. And then somebody, like the first comment's like, do you realize that you just posted a spoiler when you were like so anxious to show everybody what a jerk this guy is for posting a spoiler? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and guess that the guy that posted it also wanted to spoil the movie for people. I don't think anybody's that dumb. I mean, possibly, but I like to think the best of people. It's a Canadian trait.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not even sure when I'm going to get a chance to see it. I might go see it tomorrow while the kids are in school.
Wait, what?
No, I wouldn't do that to you. But I haven't seen Black Panther yet. And so I was kind of worried. And then I did some digging, and a lot of people said that, it's kind of standalone, that you don't really need to see it for Infinity Wars. But then other people have said that you kind of do need to see it. And so I don't know.
Other than the fact that it introduces the characters that you're going to see, so you would have more of an attachment to the characters because you do see some of them obviously in Infinity War. Because people are going to know right off the bat who the Black Panther is. He's the guy in the Black Panther costume. But there's a bunch of the side characters from that movie that are in this one, so they're not going to mean anything to you. You're not going to really understand them per se, but I think you would still enjoy the movie pretty much the same amount. Also, I'm going to apologize. I'm terrible at keeping up with chat. I'm also not wearing my glasses right now because the mask is more important. But yeah. Hi to everybody that said hello. There. I think I'm good now.
Uncle Walter just threw $5 super chat. Thank you, Walter, but you really don't have to do that.
That's a tip from the country club. Everybody should be a member of the country club.
I think everybody is a member of the country club.
Sure, let's go with that.
That country club's getting big.
Yep. He's going to be bigger than all of us in 6 weeks.
Probably. Well, because he's home live streaming all the time.
It's true.
He's drinking coffee.
He was out of here. Thank you, brother, for being here. Appreciate it.
I was gonna wear the helmet the entire time, but it squeezes into the eyes just a little bit, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and decowl myself.
Yeah, that's my dreadlock hat. It itches me, so I don't wear it. The birthday hat I had on Friday night was cutting into my bald head.
We now know who Captain Canada is.
Yep. He released his identity to the world.
This print went pretty well, and then the paint went pretty well until I had to actually put the A on it. And I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but that it bled like a something. So I'm gonna sand it back down and repaint it. But I mean, that's the other thing, because so many people are like, "Aren't you worried you're gonna screw it up when you paint it?" I'm like, "It's paint. If I have to sand it and repaint it when all is said and done, I'm out a couple of hours." Also, if something goes really wrong, I'll just print another one. Grand scheme of things, that's the great thing about 3D printing. If it doesn't work, do it again. Yeah,
or if you break it or whatever, or you print it out and it doesn't fit. It's just time and a lot of filament. That's all.
Yep. Yeah, that was about with the support material. I think it was about a third of a roll, so not even that bad.
No, that isn't bad.
But that was supposed to be a birthday gift for a friend of mine, and we just celebrated her birthday this past weekend. But this was for her last birthday, so.
And you're still not
behind. But I made up for it. This year, I actually, absolutely randomly, we walked into a drugstore Friday night, and they had a Super Nintendo Classic. So I picked it up for her. I was like, well, here's to make up for all the birthdays that I've promised you things and delivered nothing.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so Walter spent the weekend down at Disney, which is about an hour and a half south of me. And so he stopped through on the way home. And we had the opportunity to go and have some lunch together. It would have been awesome had the timing worked out, and had he had the time that we could have done a stream while he was here. But it was a rough weekend and he was tired. He kept saying, just let me go home. And I'm like, but we got to go eat. Oh, let me go home. No, not really. But I just thought it would have been cool. If
I
we
don't want to
more
be
of a
stuck
time,
in this prison anymore.
But so, I guess I'll let a little bit of the cat out of the bag as far as the E12 goes. I'm really fed up with it, and I don't want to even try to make it print anymore. And I reached out to GearBest, and this is nothing against GearBest. I know there's some people right now that are fed up with GearBest. GearBest is always taking good care of me, and they're not the manufacturer, but I reached out to them, and they had me send some video and some photos in on what it was doing. So they're trying to get hold of ANET. I'm sure they can get hold of ANET, but they're trying to get ANET to send me some parts for it. But I was told that we didn't need to do a review on that printer, and that I feel is a little bit unacceptable. So whether they want a review or not, I'm doing a review on that printer. So, and it won't be good. It won't be pretty at all. I mean, the video will be good because I only produce good things, but you know, all my videos are awesome.
Hear that, Xander? You're a good thing because your dad produced you.
Yeah, his good thing needs a good haircut.
No.
So, but I was joking around today and said I think that I'm gonna get that E12 out of there and then put a sign there that says this space for rent. So something else has gotta fill that hole in. I'm in talks right now with Creality directly about getting a CR-10 to replace this thing, but it all really just depends on what I can do for Creality. So Mad Mike said I should give you a Glen cut.
Nah, I'm good.
Sup, Grant? Oh, Grant's in the house. Grant, you don't talk enough. You didn't make enough noise when you came in. So, and I don't know. I'm sure that you didn't go back and watch my Friday night video, James. I know how it goes. I'm not calling you out on it being bad, but Grant was actually here. He came. Do you know who Grant is? Did you miss all of that, or?
I think I missed all of that. So
Grant is a coworker of mine. He's my minion who I make phone calls for me because I hate talking to people on the phone. But we had him in for a live stream a couple of weeks ago as like an interview situation for someone who wasn't in 3D printing and was kind of new to it all. And then I gave him that MP Select Mini. The one that I won from Ryan.
And he broke it already.
And he broke it already. No, in fairness, he finally got around to playing with it yesterday, was heating it up and the power supply exploded on it. So
most of these printers are built with power supplies that are like just barely capable. It's like we were discussing the whole ANET A8 situation with the number of ones that have caught on fire. And Kay was asking, like, how are they still selling them? Like, well, first of all, they're being imported from China, and there's like all these loopholes because they come in as a kit, so they're not an assembled product, so they get away with a little leeway. I'm like, and the vast majority of them don't catch on fire because they just barely like meet the minimum requirements for the stuff that needs to go on. But if you get like a power supply that's had a slightly off day, or like, you know, like you get the Friday power supply or the Friday there isn't a MOSFET on it, or no, there is MOSFETs on it, but not rated ones or whatever. So you get the one where it's like it doesn't quite meet the requirements that's on the box, and that's enough for it to be like end game for you. That's why there's only been a handful that have actually caught on fire. But it's also why when you build something, you usually rate the electronics 20% higher than what you actually need, so that, you know, if it weakens over time, it doesn't burn down your house.
Well, and I have to say that I find it funny because, you know, like the whole time from the moment I started with my A8, everybody jumped up and down going, that thing catches fire, that thing catches fire. There was only one ever documented case of one actually catching fire. I'm not talking about smoke pouring out of it or whatever, but legitimately catching on fire. And so that was always my defense. Listen, you know, you're telling me it's going to catch fire. It's only ever happened one time, you know, and I still to this day, I feel that, okay, so yes, the thermal runaway should not be shut off in the firmware, but 99% chance it's an operator error that caused the problem. And But I find it funny that all of a sudden, like, was it 3, right? 3 of them that caught fire in the course of like, well, as many weeks, like 3 in 3 weeks. After all this time of none catching on fire, and then all of a sudden 3 of them catch fire, just feels a little weird.
It could be a bad run, but I think at least one of them, the person owned at least 3 of them and had them for a while. So, I mean, it also could be the age of them, right? The internet has been around for like 3 years now. So maybe at the 3-year mark, some of that stuff starts to
deteriorate enough.
Yeah, exactly. So
well, my
maybe you'll have to take it a little more seriously on yours now.
I take it seriously anyway, you know, like, I mean, but the first question that I asked every time that they started posting, oh my gosh, my printer caught fire. So the first one that happened recently, the heater cartridge came out of the heat block and fell onto the bed of the printer, and it ignited, and it ended up catching the hot end and chasing the cable chain all the way over to the left-hand side of it. But my question was, why is it that your heater element could fall out? That's bad cable management. You know, all of that stuff should be tied in to not come out. And I'm not pointing this just at A8 or just at that person. I mean, everybody on every printer should make sure that heat core does not come out.
It fell down.
I told you not to bang it on the table.
It fell on the table.
But you know, like all of us have the responsibility of making sure that these machines are safe. It's not a common appliance. You know, I mean, we take it for granted that, you know, toasters get hot, but they generally don't catch fire. It's happened, but you know, it's like, you got to take it seriously. But it's just all of a sudden now, you know, oh, A8, burn your house down. A8, burn your house down. And I'm not giving mine up. I like mine. So, of course, everything.
There is no such thing at this point, like you're saying, as a like 100% safe 3D printer. You're still dealing with something that has the ability to reach combustible temperatures left unchecked. And like, obviously software and everything is supposed to limit that. But if you take a 40-watt like ceramic heater or whatever, the actual thermal core from one of those hot ends, and you plug it into 12 volts and just leave it unchecked, like it will heat up, not quite indefinitely. Obviously, it's not going to reach 1,000,000 degrees, but it is going to reach the temperature where if it touches something, that something is going to catch on fire.
Well, and it's like such a small pinpointed area too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's, you know, you got a piece that's like this big, and it's got like, you know, like it'll get hot enough to like light cigarettes and stuff like that. And so if you've got a printer that has thermal runaway turned off, which for those watching don't know what it is, essentially what it's supposed to do is say, hey, I've had the core, I've had power going to the core for the past like 5 minutes, and for some reason it still hasn't reached temperature. So chances are the thermistor that's monitoring that temperature isn't in close enough proximity, or it's not working properly. So then it kills power so that the core never gets hot enough to light something on fire. So when you've got it turned off on a printer, and you have a situation where like the core slides out like we're talking about, if it stays close enough to the thermistor that the thermistor is still like, yeah, I'm 200 degrees, everything's good, then it never hits that threshold where it reaches thermal wave protection. And then, you know, it actually gets up to like 500 degrees and then brushes against something that combusts, you know, at 500 degrees. And
like
that's all she wrote. Yeah. So all of this is being controlled by software. None of this stuff is particularly safe. And like, there's like caveats with everything. Like in a perfect world, you would never leave your 3D printer unattended, but the reality is like a lot of prints last days. You can't watch it for days.
No, exactly.
So you do what you can to prevent it. You make sure it's built properly. One of my early experiences on my printer bought Simple Metal, I replaced the original hot end with a V6, and I didn't properly secure the actual heater. And luckily, it does have proper thermal runaway protection, because it did dislodge. And I came down, I could smell it because there's stuff on it that had started smoking because of the temperature it reached. And then the printer just turned itself off. But I'm like, it was kind of like the eye opener. Like, it is fairly easy to make a mistake like that if you don't know what you're doing, which at that point I was just learning, and then everything goes to crap. So at that point, I like wrapped everything with Kapton tape to get it sort of locked in, so that even if the screw was completely loose, even if it wasn't properly installed, it couldn't physically slide out far enough to dislodge.
Or at least a lot less of a chance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect solution.
Mm.
You can fireproof your printer all you want, but stuff can still go wrong, and something might not get triggered and all that type of stuff. So.
Right. Well, and even if you keep up on the maintenance, which I guarantee probably 90% of the people don't. I don't. I preach it, and then I don't necessarily maintain my printers the way that I should. But the little set screw that holds, the grub screw that holds that heat cartridge in, that thing gets, I mean, it's under a tremendous amount of heat all the time, and it seizes. So even if it backs out a little bit, you go to tighten it up, and it's like it just strips. Okay, well, it must be tight, but it isn't. It's just seized in there. So you definitely got to check that stuff, and never ever check your hot end while it's hot. That's just a tip for all of you guys.
That's why it hurt.
I went 9 months without burning myself. We were 9 months into this venture before I got my first burn, and I actually got it. I had a 1mm Allen key that I was pushing some filament out of the extruder with, and I apparently had it in there long enough for it to get hot. And when I pulled it out, I went to wipe the plastic off with my hand, and it burned me right across my thumb. So. No, I just explained it. I didn't touch the extruder while it was hot. I've gotten lucky. I've watched people, they'll like snag pieces of filament right off the nozzle. Like, as long as I do it quick, and I don't even do that. I have pliers for that, or tweezers for that. So
you went 9 months, and I'm lucky to go about 9 minutes without burning myself. Like, I've probably burned myself 3 times since the stream started at this point.
You're just burning yourself on your feet right now, right? You got a printer down there, and you're just kicking it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just tapping it to make sure it's still going.
Oh yeah, we got 3D printer kit and 3D maker kit in here right now. So Thomas was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but he was in a little bit ago. We got Backwoods Nerd, who says that he's trying to start a channel. So that's pretty cool. There's definitely room for all of us, as long as you're not just ripping off other people's videos like some of the spammers out there. But nobody ever rips off my videos
Because it's branded.
Because it's branded. Our videos are branded.
What I do is I do time travel, so I figure out what you're planning next by going forward a couple of weeks in time, and then I just steal the idea and start working on it.
Yeah, you should probably go a little bit further ahead in time, because we both end up doing it at the same time. So and
that's fine. I like to just leave a little bit of controversy in there. I think it generates views for both of us, so people can be like, who did it better? Who wore it better?
Well, and it's funny, and I mean, for you guys in the chat right now, it is not a joke. And I don't, maybe we should have started keeping track of it. There has been, I would say, 10, 12 times that I say to James either, hey, I'm thinking about doing one of these. And he's like, oh, I'm doing that. Or I was thinking about one of, like, we are always on this same wavelength of whatever it is that we were going to do. So, and the MP mostly printed CNC machine was the latest up until I started working on my big secret project. And I told James, and he's like, well, let me give you a little feedback, because I'm working on one of those too. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
and this is one of those things too, where I was explaining to Glenn, like the idea that he's working on, I've been working on for a long time, but it's only started coming to fruition because I have a specific project which won't be unveiled until for a year. I'm aiming for Murph next year. But I have a specific project that I need this project completed for. So I was like, hey, one of the things I was thinking about is when you do this, you have to account for this. And then Glenn's like, I never thought to account for that. And I'm like, you would have once you got to the point where you started thinking about what you were going to do with it.
Yeah, and then
that's what got me is I suddenly realized, I won't get into it too much because it might be a little bit revealing, but because of that other big project that I'm working on for Murph next year, yeah, because I started thinking about what that's going to entail. I'm like, oh, this is never going to work. So I'm going to have to do it a different way. But
yeah, no, I actually, after James gave me the feedback, I'm like, that's good. I'll consider it. So I stopped working on what I was working on, and I spent a few days just thinking about it. And it literally went like this for like 3 days. So I just sat and thought about it. And I wrote James a message the other day, and I said something along the lines of, why do you have to be such a jerk and be so smart? Now I have to start all over again. And this would be the third iteration because of major changes. So, but as long as the end product works, that's what's important. So.
And to be fair, I think with the design change, it's also going to probably save you some money. Because what you're talking about doing for that one part that we're talking about swapping out,
Right.
It's going to be a lot more static. You can probably save yourself like $100 in the course of the build now. Although it is increasing other expenses further on, right? Like
probably more than that, because the person that I was going to have make that part can't make that part, so I was going to have to farm it out somewhere else. So
I feel like we're going to have an offline discussion about this because I have a lot to say and a lot of theories, and I want to ask you questions. But unfortunately, nobody in chat's cleared for this, so sorry.
No, but you know it's really fun because this is going to drive everybody crazy. I always hate when Joel does that. Like, hey guys, I can't really tell you what I'm doing, but I'm at a secret meeting with a really secret person, and details to come. And then you're like, what? You know? But
why make the video?
No, I'm hoping to either debut what I'm doing at Orlando Maker Faire or possibly Murph 19. I don't want it to have to go all the way to Murph, but it would probably be accepted there more. But I don't know. We'll see.
With my design, and I'll tell you more off out there, it definitely won't transport well, but I will bring the other stuff that's attached that I'm doing with it with me, so it'll sort of like demonstrate it. Because we'll stop talking about it before.
Yeah, because there's so much I want to tell you, but I don't want to tell anybody else. There's only 3 people that know about it at this point. So
also, I'm trying to mute my microphone in between conversations now so that it eliminates some of the echo for, the sake of all the people watching.
Oh, I thought maybe you were just like you were muting it so that you could like release secrets. Like, I got to get this out, it's going to be blue. And then you unmute your mic. Ron says, if you wait until Murph, it will have to be perfected. No, I don't think so. I don't think anything that hits Murph has to be perfect.
As long as it doesn't catch on fire.
Right. Well, unless that's what it was intended.
Containable, right?
So, yeah. I don't know. They wanted to get an A8 for Murph this year and actually try to catch it on fire, but Backward Nerd said, I'm going to be doing some mods to my Anycubic i3 Mega, but I don't want to make videos about stuff that's been, well, no. Now, my suggestion on that is don't let that be your what's the word I'm looking for? Like your hindrance, your block. It doesn't matter if other people have done videos on what you're doing. Do it anyway, because you might do it a little bit differently, or you may have a better camera angle than they did or something, and it will help somebody in the long run. No, my point on don't rip people off, not as far as doing the same stuff they've done. We'd all be guilty of that. No, literally people start a YouTube channel by downloading other people's YouTube videos and uploading them to their channel. So
it's actually, again, funny that we're hitting on this. Is one of the videos I'm working on, it was supposed to be recorded this week, and then with the stuff with my cat, it got delayed. But basically I'm doing a video on taking the weight off the importance of getting there first, because if you try and get there first for anything on YouTube, especially if you're like content creation, you're going to find other people who have done it. With the everything's coming back to the arcade because it's my most recent design. But when I was designing that, right before I started releasing the videos and the design, I did a search on YouTube to see if anybody else had done it. And Daniel over at ModBot, who now works for Matter Hackers, he had released a video on a design for a 3D printed arcade cabinet that was at the same time. So he ordered his parts at the same time. He ordered the same parts right down to the color. So we both have this like baby blue joystick with the baby blue buttons, the same screen. I went Orange Pi versus Raspberry Pi, but it's like literally the exact same project and both of our takes on it. And like Joel had a conversation, like a brief one with me during one of, I think it might have been one of your live streams, Glenn. It was during a live stream anyways, where I basically said I recorded a video on the portal gun from Rick and Morty, and he released a video right before I was about to release mine, so I scrapped my video because I'm like, I don't want to be accused of copying. And he was like, no, you release your content, like
always,
especially with stuff like that. Like the arcade thing is kind of weird because like nobody was really doing much with it, and then both of us to have the same idea at the same time. But like the Rick and Morty stuff, it's popular. Of course, there's going to be other people that get there first. Just, you know, and you know what, even if you don't bring anything new to the actual topic, you talk about what you know, you talk about what you enjoy, maybe somebody will just like listening to you better than somebody else. Like, unless you're specifically downloading somebody's video and making a script, repeating exactly what they're saying piece by piece, it's fine.
Right, which would be plagiarism, but yeah, even exactly. So, I mean, even if you and I decided that, we were going to 3D print this failed block, and release the video on it at the same time, you would have people that see your video that don't see mine and vice versa. So I mean, contrary to popular belief, I don't even know how many people I sub to at this point, but it's like well over 150 or 200 different YouTube channels just in 3D printing. And it's not everybody. I mean, I discover somebody new every couple of days. So I mean, you can never back off just because somebody else did it too, because your video may hit somebody that theirs doesn't.
Also, we have to give a shout out. Daniel Nore is in chat right now.
Oh my gosh. Daniel Nore. Thank you for being here.
And I'm going to give a shout out to Derek Matthews, who was the first person to take my arcade design and print it off, which led to this really weird situation where something that you designed, built, and printed shows up at somebody else's house. And like, I showed the picture to my wife, and I'm like, check this out. And she's like, yeah, I've seen the pictures of your arcade. I've seen it in person. I'm like, it's not mine. It's this other guy's on the internet. And she's like, oh, that's so cool. Like, it's weird for, you know, it can be anywhere in the world once you release it. So absolutely. And you never know. So I'm sure a lot of the people in chat, if not everybody, knows who Daniel is. But in case you don't, Daniel is, he's the designer of the OpenRC project and also the Benchy that I'm sure everybody in here has printed. But this one's special because it's actually signed. Oh, come on. You didn't even print that Benchy. It looks like it was printed on a Cherry 3D printer. Was that the one that this came off of? Yeah, that came off the Cherry. When I tried to print it with a 0.2 millimeter nozzle on the ender, it didn't turn out so nice. So I just opted to print on that. It turned out okay for. It did. I mean, it's got a little bit of what do they call that? Salmon skin or whatever. But I think it actually adds a cool effect to it. So, but yeah, I'm sure.
It looks like a haunted chip.
Matt from Inside the Mind of Matt is here as well. I kind of quit, you know, shouting out as people came. I was paying more attention to you, James, than I was the chat. So I'm trying to make up for the fact that I basically ignore chat 90% of the time. Well, usually on these face-to-faces, you end up, and then, you know, kind of a good practice, you know, about 30 minutes before you're done, then you turn it over to the chat and let the chat ask questions. Because, I mean, it's hard when you're having a one-to-one conversation. Yeah, so that's the only Benchy that gets displayed laying on its side. For those in chat, the other helpful thing for us, if you're asking either Glenn or I a specific question, if you do the @printandplay or @funking3D, it'll actually highlight on our screen that you've said something that's directed us, which that's what grabbed my attention in the last one, is that people are doing @printandplay. So I looked over at the screen, and that's when I saw that Derek Matthews and Daniel Nore were chatting up there. So. Yeah, I might have to I may have to bite the bullet and get XSplit for using in here, because like I finally set up the notifications, like so when that people, you know, subscribed and stuff, it would pop up on the screen, but obviously it doesn't work in here because that's through OBS. And I don't know if you know, but Streamlabs now has their own version of OBS. They've taken OBS and forked it. Which could be a great thing or it could be a catastrophe. I don't know yet, but I'm hoping that they'll take theirs and do what OBS has claimed that they were going to for the last couple of years and make it where you can use it as a webcam output for use in stuff like this, because that would be quite helpful. I can't change cameras or anything at this point to show close-ups, or I know you can screen share, but John Max says Streamlab OBS works good. I will have to try it. I have downloaded it. I just haven't installed it to try it. I'll try and get mine set up with that before my live stream next weekend. Not this upcoming week, but the week after is going to be, I'll probably be streaming a lot because my wife is going to be gone. So I'm going to have nothing better to do. I'm not going to say parole because I don't want it to make it sound like I'm happy that she's gone, but you know what I mean. A reprieve. Reprieve sounds better than parole. That works better. Yeah. Little alone time that you're going to spend with 50 million viewers. Xander keeps telling me we have 50 million viewers. How many are watching right now? Before I scroll down, let's take an estimate. I think it's going to be 35. 40. How do you know? I'm guessing. Oh, 40. You're guessing. No, it's actually 40. He must have seen the number somewhere. No, they're really not. Smile on his face. They're not. Did you see it somewhere? It's down below the. Oh,
with
it's
James.
in the
Well,
hangout.
jokes on you. It's 41 now. So
41 viewing, yeah. Canadian Maker
That-
Project also said, well, it's Streamlabs. Streamlabs is a lot better version of OBS. But, and it's really crazy because they're pretty similar right now. But what's going to happen is the Streamlabs is going to take theirs one way, and the original one's going to go the other way, and it's going to be very interesting. So it'll be nice to see people coming out with better plugins and stuff.
Oh no, it's
Ron's asking me. Well, actually, he's yelling at me. Road trip to Canada.
Sure.
I don't think so.
If you guys take a road trip to Canada, you definitely have a place to stay.
That'd be awesome. Oh, I think that's what he's saying. Like, while your wife's gone, we just come crash at your house.
Do it. Hey, I'll pay for all the food if you guys do that. There you go. Then make it happen.
Well, that's it. I'd have to bring Xander, and that's a big offer if you're going to pay for all the food with Xander. That boy
That's
can
fine.
eat.
He can have craft dinner, huh?
Craft dinner, right? And have all the fanciest ketchups with it.
So it turns out the difference between craft dinner and craft macaroni and cheese is craft dinner in Canada doesn't have any of the artificial colors in it anymore. So it doesn't
Neither
turn your
does
inside
our
jello.
macaroni and cheese doesn't either. They stopped that like 6 months or a year ago.
Oh, okay, well, that's good. Guess we're on equal footing now then.
It doesn't taste the same though.
All those chemicals are what made it taste good.
Maybe I'm just older. I don't know, but Kraft macaroni and cheese used to be my favorite macaroni and cheese, and I don't like it anymore. So, well, there goes that sponsor.
This live stream brought to you by
3D Maker Kid said, "Funking 3D, I'm currently in a closet at the new house." I don't know if that's code for something or not, but
is that him asking you for help?
Yeah, I don't. Are you free to leave?
I accidentally locked myself in the closet.
I don't know if somebody else locked him in the closet. So,
give me 1 second. I want to move this around because I'm finding it really disorienting. You guys are over here, but my camera is there, so I'm going to try and put my camera on top of the monitor to make this less like.
Yeah, that's what I did. I put a monitor right below my camera now, so like as I'm looking at you, I'm kind of looking at the camera, but chat's over here to the side. So that's all right. I'll read the cheers, the chat. Martin said cheers at Backwards Nerd.
Yeah.
By the way, hi Martin.
It is my only way to escape from painting.
Alternate James is here.
It is his only.
You have to have. Okay, I don't know what poutine is.
It's French fries with gravy and unripened cheese curds. And it sounds gross, but if you eat it, you'll be addicted to it 100%.
Well, I've had French fries and gravy when I was in Canada, but I don't think that it had anything else on it. It was just, going across the border for French fries and gravy, sir. So
you got to get the cheese curds. And like they try to make poutine outside of Canada and they put like shredded mozzarella on it. It's not the same, not at all.
Huh. Yeah, because I know that you had brought all the stuff to make it and then it just never happened.
I feel like I got trolled a little bit, maybe just a little bit. Like, hey, bring the stuff, we'll make poutine. It's like,
no, I don't think that was it. I think that what it is, like all of a sudden you get there and it's just so crazy and there's so much going on and it's just nonstop. And I know it's been a little while now that Murph has been over, but I'm going to say it again. If you guys didn't go next year, because holy crap, was that fun. So, and it was a great opportunity to meet people and see stuff. And I'm really looking forward to IRF. And what's really scaring me about IRF is that I've seen so many people say they're not going. And Priscilla was my wife, for those of you that don't know, was joking around the other day and said, well, maybe you'll be like the biggest thing at IRF. It'll be like, I'll be the Joel.
I think size-wise, I'll be the biggest thing at IRF.
Oh, come on.
It's okay. I'm not ashamed.
Oh, yeah, I was just trying to kind of catch up over here. Murph was amazing, absolutely. I can't believe Daniel Norea is still hanging out with us. There's Ross. You're down for what? You're down for what?
Poutine is not faux potatoes. It is definitely properly made, like chip truck potatoes if it's done properly, and like French fries, and yeah.
It's funny that Ross's screen name thing is got a question mark at the end. It looks like everybody's asking him questions. So did you catch the Friday night stream the other night that had Ross in it? Gear Down for What?
I caught like I think the opening couple of minutes of it. I don't know, like my schedule is weird with stuff. I have trouble getting online for anything that I can't like read text wise. Anything other than Wednesdays and usually Saturdays. So like we had to plan this like a week in advance type thing to be able to make it work for today.
Well,
right?
I think it's been a couple of weeks. In fact, we were supposed to do this like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then we had originally planned for last night, and it was just there's too much going on. Like honestly, switching tonight worked better for us, anyways. So it's too busy watching Avengers for like the 73rd time.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't sleep last night at all. I had too much caffeine yesterday, so I was doing one of those things where I was waking myself up every 20 minutes. I was up late working on my secret project, and then I went to bed and just couldn't sleep. So I'm still exhausted today. But no, Ross was John invited Ross. You do it. Invited Ross, Gear Down for What, into the Friday night stream, and I didn't know who Ross was. And so I went to his channel, and Ross has got like 50,000 subs. He's a big deal, and I didn't know who he was, and I felt really bad. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know who you were, Ross. But he does really cool stuff with gear reduction. So he likes to make everything move slow, but be really strong when it does it. Mike Whaley said, I'm still really upset that everybody at my house got sick and we were not able to go to Murph. Well, there's always IRF. Or Murph next year if you can't make IRF. And IRF is coming up fast. We're under 2 months now, right?
Really?
Yeah. It's coming up quick.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's on my birthday.
That's going to be awesome. That's even more reason to like just hang out and celebrate. And our house is going to be Walter, Country 3D, Happy Extruder Ron.
Well, this is going to be good.
Uncle Ron.
Well,
You, and then the Fun King bunch. So, and anybody else that we can crash on.
To stay with you guys. I haven't gotten like their last thing was supposed to be like I'll let you know the details or whatever, and then.
Oh no, dude, you're in. Just don't even worry about it. You're in.
Okay, I got to throw money at you though, or I don't know.
You got to throw it to Uncle Ron. Uncle Ron's the one that took care of all of that, but yeah, it's gonna be. And then I don't know. I didn't check the dates to see if a Friday night stream falls on that weekend, but I think that we should do a live stream regardless. I just don't know whose channel to do it on unless we all just do it. Like if we, it would still have to be on one.
We would all stream on our phones and then
just everybody do their own individual streams while we're in the same room.
Everybody's asking me which day is my birthday. I'm not going to tell anybody. It's easier that way.
It's the whole weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if I don't tell anybody, then I get gifts every single day I'm there.
That's right. It's yeah. Uncle Ron's birthday was during Murph, so I gave him a Fun King shirt. I said, hey, I brought you something just to say thanks for being cool, not just to us. I mean, Ron, I have to do this. Uncle Ron, plug your ears and go la 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 la. Ron is unbelievably nice guy, but he's also like so super helpful. He will literally give you the shirt off his back. And I first met him in person for Gainesville Maker Faire, and I'd have been, well, it wouldn't have been as good had Ron not showed up. He helped set up, he helped tear down, he helped with crowd control for me at Murph. He's just really fantastic. So, but I handed him a shirt. I said, I brought you this shirt because, you always go above and beyond and you're really, kind to everybody and you're always willing to help out. And he's like, oh, and it's my birthday. And I'm like, and it's your birthday. I want to be in on that. Oh yeah, because Martin is coming to Earth too. So
he's going to Earth?
Yeah.
Yay!
So we definitely have to put something together. All these events, it's like everybody takes off and goes to the bar and stuff, and I never go because he can't go to the bar, and I refuse to do anything 3D printing related without him. Like he's half of this. So, but
no, more than half.
But
okay.
okay.
What's that?
We'll get him a fake ID this time around. It'll be fine.
Just tell everybody
He's
he's short.
21.
I was born too short. It's fine.
I have Benjamin Button's disease. I'm 70.
3D Matter Makers wants to know if we buy anything when we go to these conventions. I will say that I went to Murph planning to buy a 3D printer. That was my plan. It's like, I'm going to spend like $500. I'm going to buy a 3D printer. Nobody was really there selling anything. There's a couple of people that were selling some like used 3D printers. I think there was one person that was selling like he had kits, but he'd built 3 of them specifically for the event. But like I wanted to buy something that I would do an assembly of. I was actually thinking like one of the nights I would bring a kit back to the hotel room and try to build the kit at like well there essentially. And it's like,
that'd have been catastrophic.
Catastrophic. But yeah, that was the plan there.
Yeah, no, it is definitely not. I mean, now ERF may be different than Murph. There's never been an ERF before, which is another real reason to go. I mean, this is groundbreaking stuff here. But
would you say it's shattering?
Hackers is in the house.
Oh, Matter Hackers is here.
Look at that. That's usually Dave behind that logo, but it's always.
I should go squeeze myself into that shirt they gave me that's like too small, where I like Matter Hackers represent.
Well, Xander was actually wearing his this morning, but we try to only go on screen in Fun King shirts, but no, the shows are definitely not trade shows. It's more about getting some information, learning about new things, meeting people. Seeing what people have created. It is, well, unless you're Zach. If you're Zachary, then you just tell people you like their stuff and they give it to you. So, but, it must be you, James, because like some of the people that we have in here today are fantastic, and they don't show up for my streams, but they show up for yours.
I think it's a mix of two. I have to say, like my audience has grown a lot, but my well, I'm not gonna say like isolated to the core, but I have some of like the most awesome people I've ever met in my life that just show up to chat with me, and I'm like, I'm not cool. Like you guys should have better lives than this. You're so much nicer than I am. But I'm super thankful to everybody, and I'm also gonna give a bit of a shout out to Matter Hackers because they were the first company that like I was like, hey, I'm looking at this project or whatever, and they were like, we want to be a part of it. They were the first company to sponsor me on anything. So that arcade cabinet that everybody that have people downloading and printing and they love, that's because Matter Hackers was willing to step forward and they provided me like $100 worth of fulfillment just to get that started. So
they are that way with the community as a whole. It is, Dave. Cool. Not that it would be uncool if it was anybody else, but no, Matter Hackers is very good about just being so generous in the community as a whole, which is why when we were going to Gainesville Maker Faire, I reached out and said, hey, can I have some stickers or, something to display, something I can push for you guys? And, it ended up to not be a very big, very big Maker Faire. We did give out some stickers and stuff, but that's why I was walking around handing out Matter Hacker stickers at Murph, even though they were there giving them out. Like I was just like forcing them upon people, buy their stuff. We don't want them to go anywhere. So we want Dave to have a job for many, many years. So
also the giant project for Murph next year. I've had a couple people come forward, but Matter Hackers was the very first ones that are like, just put one of our stickers on it somewhere and we'll provide you with stuff. And I think when people see it, it's going to be pretty mind blowing, like how literally huge this project is.
Nice.
And
stop talking about it.
Yeah, we'll get behind it. So
you're gonna give something away. So Paul Cumber had asked me where you can order a Fun King 3D shirt. I am trying to work with Merch Minion right now, but I haven't heard back from them lately. There was supposed to be a store online, so we're gonna get that set up, and you'll definitely hear about that. So
and my merch store is literally my wife's my webmaster or whatever, because she works for I don't know. I think it's okay. She works for a company called Shopify. So like she's doing all the web design for it and everything. The only thing it needs is for me to take some nice photos of some of the projects I've had before we launch it, but I'm lazy. So it's been staying ready for launch for the past like 6 weeks. For me to break out the camera and snap some photos. Cause I'm never around a camera. So
as far as my website goes, like I updated it a lot in the beginning to establish the affiliate with Amazon, and now I don't really update it at all. I don't think anybody goes to my website. I mean, I do everything on YouTube, so Magnets
Also,
and
while we're talking about
stickers will be available through Merch Minion as well. I don't know about magnets. I don't know if they have that option, but definitely
while we're
something.
talking about Matter Hackers, they're also one of the sponsors for my 1,000 sub giveaway, which is like in its last week. So if anybody here is, here's a little self-promotion word, but if anybody here isn't subbed to me yet, I'm giving away a Tron XY X5S 3D printer for first prize and a roll of Matter Hackers Pro PLA. So I'll toss a link up in chat to the video where you can go and enter it, and hopefully stick around after the giveaway is done. Don't just unsub.
Don't unsub from James. He's awesome. You have to stay sub. So let's have a conversation based off of that right there. Not you getting subs, but you called it a Tron XY, and
I was calling it Tronxy for a long time, and then somebody's like, it's Tron XY, and I'm like, I don't know. That's
what I was gonna say, because I call it Tronxy, and like somebody needs to make a website. So somebody out there that's really good at web design and just wants another project, because I don't, make a website that has the proper pronunciation. Do the research. Actually, like, call the manufacturer and be like, how do you say your name? Because I call it Slicer. I use Slicer Prusa Edition. I've heard it called Slick 3R. I've heard it called literally LIC 3R. Slicer. I don't know. Like, there's all these different, and it's like, it's not that I want to, like, it's not that I'm afraid I sound like an idiot. I'm going to call it whatever I think it is until somebody tells me what it's really called. But, it's like somebody needs to come up with the proper pronunciation of all of this stuff. So, yeah, a pronunciation guide. Exactly. But it has to be legit. You can't just make it up and be like, this is what we're calling it because I say so. You have to actually call the manufacturer or call the creator of the Slick 3R.
I finally had to ask Sean, because I was calling IC3D. I was calling it iced because it's IC3, which is a backward D, right? So I'm like, iced filament. So I haven't said it on camera yet, but finally I was like, before I actually start talking about it, because I wanted to talk about how the fact that they're sponsoring the thing for Earth, like, I need to find out for sure how it's pronounced. So he's like, oh, it's IC3D. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm glad I asked first then.
Well, and that's funny too, because I've been pushing their stuff for a while. And I just kept calling it IC3D, and then somebody said to me, oh, it looks like iced, and I thought, oh, I hope I didn't say it right. But nobody had corrected me, so I just kept going with it. And it is literally an I, a C, a 3, and a D, so I didn't, like, I was just spelling it instead of saying it.
X3.
Oh yeah, I say Prusa as Prussia, and a lot of people do that. And I meant to ask Joseph at Murph how it's actually pronounced, but I forgot.
With a hard Z, it's Prussia.
I choked up in the presence of greatness. In the presence of greatness.
It's like Fun King 3D. Like, Glenn changed the name. It was originally one word, so it was like Funking, like funk, and people kept calling him Fun King. So I was like, you know what? I'll just put the space in there. It's easier than trying to cut people.
Well, I know that you've heard the story, but no, it went completely different than that originally with Fun King. So, but no, I don't know. It's a memorable name, so whatever. So I always make sure I put the spaces in there, but you never know what you're going to get. I was just trying to make sure we didn't miss anything in chat.
We were up to 47 people in chat for about 5 minutes. It's down to 39, but like, I think that's the biggest audience I've been a part of so far, except for maybe with the Friday night hangouts. So.
Well, the community's just getting better and better and better, and truly, the more collaborations that we do amongst us is going to, show everybody else, and the like you were talking about, how there's that core chunk of I don't like to call them fans, I like to call them friends of the channel, that like show up like every time, and they already know your inside jokes, and it's magnificent. And when we started the stream Friday night, I didn't plan on giving anything away. I knew we were going to do a live stream for the birthday, and it was going to be great and whatever. And I think it was Uncle Ron that said, hey, are you going to give anything away? And I said, well, I didn't really think about it. So I reached out to Sean at IC3D, and I said, hey, could you guys kick us a roll of filament? And he's like, nope, I'll give you 2. And I'm like, awesome, you know. So we were going to give away a roll at 10 and then at 11. And then I thought, you know, I should kick in something too. And AIO has been so good to me. So I kicked in 2 rolls of AIO on behalf of AIO Robotics. And so that was 4 things. We were going to do it at 9:30, 10, 10:30, and 11. And it wasn't 10 minutes in the stream. And this is what we gave away. I mean, we just, it was 2 hours of giving stuff away. And the generosity in the community, you know, Joe Mike was the first one to step up and say, you know, hey, I'm gonna kick in a roll of polyalchemy, and you know, just like it just rolled after that, and it was magnificent. The community is so awesome. Ron Floyd is in the house.
We are now calling our friends of the channel Xander's Peasants. It was Adam 81's idea.
It was Adam 81's idea. Xander's Peasants. Yeah, I suppose you missed that whole thing too, James, because you don't tune into our live streams. But there was a night we were talking, and I said, you know, when I was setting up the Patreon and I was trying to come up with the different tiers, I wasn't sure what to call the first tier, and it just like it kept going back to serfs or peasants, and I'm like, no, I'm not calling the people peasants.
Thanks for a dollar, peasant.
But minions, not peasants. Yeah, but minions doesn't have anything to do with being part of the royal court, you know. So that's and Rover said it was 5 minutes into the stream that they started offering stuff up. So it was awesome. It's just it's a fantastic community, and I stated Friday night way into the stream, and I still stand behind it that 3D printing, not necessarily the thing, but the community has saved my life. It I was and my wife will confirm this. I'm very much a homebody. I haven't quite hit the agoraphobe level, but I don't leave my house. Yeah, my wife worries about me because I wouldn't socialize with people, and I was becoming very withdrawn and very recluse. And you know, I warned you guys all that I was very socially awkward and introverted and shy. And the me that you got to see at Murph was the old me and not the new introverted me. So, and it's because of this community. It's because you guys don't just come in and hang out. You become friends and family, and it just makes it so much cooler. So, but we don't have to keep going on about that. I don't want anybody actually taking credit for saving my life.
I already did. Sorry, I called dibs. I'm the reason Glenn's with us right now.
Well, there was that time, you know, when I slipped and I was hanging there just by the tips of my fingers, and you were like, "Take my strong hand."
Lifted you up by your wrist single-handedly over my head. I picked you up, put you back on solid ground. If I go,
yeah, we're gonna reenact that at Earth, right?
Yep.
Just
hey, Red Light.
in my head of you doing that, it just doesn't seem right. It has to be
Jameses. It's like super confusing. So I'm like, somebody said hi, James. I'm just gonna assume all hi Jameses are for me, even if they're meant for alternate James or some James we don't know about.
Yeah, well, there's too many James, too many Rons. We have so many Rons, and a lot of Mikes. So Tony Ryan wants to know if we're building a derby car for Earth.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, we are.
Oh, we are.
Oh, we're building a derby car.
I didn't realize we were building a derby car.
Thomas from Printing Llama said, "We saved Glenn." And the way he wrote it is like I'm falling, Glenn. Uncle Ron, I have ordered the AIO. It will be delivered tomorrow. I like to move fast. Now, the 2 rolls of IC3D are still sitting here. They won't go out until tomorrow, but the stuff that I ordered out of Amazon on Saturday will be delivered tomorrow. So I forget who my other AIO winner was.
Did I just see Chris Riley pop up in chat somewhere? Somebody said, "Hey, Chris Riley." I didn't see. Oh, there. Yeah, Chris is here.
Chris Riley in the house. Hey, everybody, it's Chris Riley from Chris's Basement.
Chris Riley's the only guy I know that's cooler than both Glenn and I put together. So.
Oh, absolutely. Chris Riley was he was the second one to step up. He he sent me a message and said, hey, I want to give away a Chris Riley swag bag for your giveaway on Friday. And I said, well, that is really cool. And it was actually Martin 3DP Iceland that won it. So that's pretty awesome. And Matt, Inside the Mind of Matt, yes, you do. And that email is Glenn, Glenn. Make sure you put 2 N's on there at funking3d.com. Yeah. Oh, I want to ask something else too, and it's kind of weighing on me. Has anybody heard from Mario Garcia of Robo 3D? I mean, he's not of Robo. He works at Robo, but he hasn't been in any streams lately. And I've sent him an email, and I've commented on one of his videos, and I haven't heard from him, and I'm just a little worried about him. So I don't know if anybody's heard from Mario, but if you have, please let me know or let him know that I would like to hear from him just so I know he's okay.
Have you contacted Robo yet? Or
I have a contact at Robo. I've been in communication with their, I think he's CEO, Braden.
Braden?
Yeah, so if you want, I can check in with him or whatever.
Yeah, did you hear the whole story about that?
Whole story about what?
About at Murph with Braden there, and I went over and I introduced myself. I said, hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Glenn from Funking 3D, and I said I have one of your R1 pluses. You guys gave it to me. I said I got it through Mario, and he was like, oh yeah. And I said to him, I said, do you know who Mario is? Not knowing who Braden was. and he's like, yeah. And I said, okay, well, I just wasn't sure. How many? Oh, see, Chris Riley says that he's tried to get hold of Mario and can't too. Please reach out to Braden right away and see what he says, James. But yeah, so then I find out who Braden is, and I'm like, well, of course he knows who Mario is, and I felt like a total goober. But Uncle Ron, thank you so much. Uncle Ron kicked in $20 saying wanted to help defer the shipping for your birthday gift giveaways. It is greatly appreciated, sir, but you really don't have to do that. Instead, you can continue to do mean things like post pictures of White Castles that I can't get. Yeah, no, I'm just a little worried about Mario. I don't know what's going on, but I just noticed that he hadn't shown up in any streams. He hasn't uploaded any videos, and I worry. I worry about my family. So I guess I didn't need that anyway. I'm knocking stuff off the desk. So, yeah, and then Ron Floyd kicking in $5 for shipping also. Thank you so much, Ron Floyd. Walter said crystals. Stop posting those nasty words to my chat.
What's crystals?
You don't want to know.
I think I do want to know.
Well, I'm sorry. What did you ask?
Train wreck as you go by.
What did you ask?
What's crystals?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, do you know what a White Castle is?
Oh, okay. I know what crystals we're talking about now.
Okay, so crystals, if you took a White Castle and you ate it and it went through the whole system and then you packaged it up again, that's a crystals.
Sounds like a pretty crappy meal if you ask me.
It's a crappy meal. Does that crappy meal come with a toy?
You don't want the toy it comes with.
Crystals is kind of like the southern version of a White Castle. I mean, it's like the same. It's the same format. It's about the same size and stuff. Walter, Country 3D, he likes crystals better. I like White Castle better. He picks on White Castle because White Castle punches holes in their meat to let the steam go through. Whatever. But if I eat crystals, I get sick to my stomach. If I eat White Castle, I'm happy and it makes me smile. $3 from 3D Printing Kid. Don't forget the tax. Thank you, brother. It's much appreciated. So, but Walter was doing a live stream the other morning like he typically does, and he was trying to play with the Nightbot giveaway, which I was gearing up for Friday night. And I said to him, like in chat, I said, call me right now live on the air. So he calls me on the phone and like we're talking on speakerphone. So like it's on the live stream. It was like calling into a radio program. And so then we started playing with Discord server. And we had the chance the other day. It was him and Chris Riley and I on the Discord server. And that was really kind of cool to get to chit chat with those two. And we definitely got to come up with more collaborations. And I've got a couple ideas to kick around that I think will be cool. Is so far it's being taken pretty well for those that I've mentioned it to. But Tony Ryan, that number is 1-800-555-1212 or 800 Fun King. I don't know what that'll actually call, so please don't call it. It'll probably be an adult line.
I'm going to call it right now.
I know that if you call the 1-800 Geek Squad number, you know, the computer tech people from Best Buy, if you call that but leave the queue out, it definitely goes somewhere where you don't expect it to go. So inside the mind of Matt said, pick me. I don't know what we're picking for. You know, it's funny because I always go back and watch these streams later and I go, oh, that's what he was talking about. But Uncle Ron said he's going to bring a couple of Crave cases to Earth. That's awesome. $5 from Canadian Maker Project. Okay, add my part to help you with shipping costs. Also, London has become a cool city. London was a cool city when I hung out there. 200 secs from Daniel Noré, so you can print more benchies. Thank you, brother. I can't remember the conversion rate on the sec, but it looks super impressive when it goes by as 200. So
that's 1.2 million
much.
Canadian, if I'm correct. You know,
it's what?
1.2 million Canadian.
1.2 million Canadian. So like $8.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, $8.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's so greatly appreciated.
I think I haven't actually checked the comparison, but the decay, because like, you know, it's got the thing that like ticks away to say how long it's going to show on screen. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be closer to the $20 range. I'm going to go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's $1. It's always appreciated. So I'm just not good with the conversions. So
don't you have a website for that?
It's called
$23.08 at the current conversion rate.
23. That is awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm still waiting on them. I hit monetization 6 weeks ago, and I'm still waiting for them to enable it on my channel because of their backlog situation.
Well, yeah,
they're saying it's supposed to be done by the end of the month, but end of the month's like tomorrow, isn't it? So
it'll happen like 11:59 and 59. You know.
Yep. Yeah.
Chris Riley said, "I like the call-in stream idea. I want to have a sidekick on one." I think it's a great idea. I did actually get. Inside the mind of Matt said collaboration. That's what he said. Pick me. Definitely. It's gonna hook around to everybody. The idea that I have eventually. So, but
I had the idea of finding like there'd be a collaboration trying to figure out what like the most terrible 3D printing kit you can get is, and then all of us buy it, and we do like this 8-person live stream where you build this really terrible printer live on stream, but then like a week or two later you come back to it after you've done all your tuning and tried to fix all the issues with it, and then see who can get the best print quality out of it after 2 weeks of solid work on it.
Yeah, but then we have to spend good money on a crappy printer kit. Hey, I'll tell you what, we don't even have to go look, and I'll tell you exactly what the kit is.
Is it an ANET?
It's sitting right there.
The only thing is, some people have gotten that printer where it works okay out of the box. So,
dude, yeah. I don't know. You know, it makes me doubt my abilities. That's how terrible it is. So
Hawk 3D Proto's here. I heard saw Hawk 3D Pro talking to Barnacles in a live stream yesterday or the day before on Twitch.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I was just trying to kid you. That's we were talking about this the other night too with, you know, the bigger YouTubers, that their chat goes by so fast that you don't even get a chance to read it. And
we're kind of approaching that speed right now. I'm trying to keep track.
It really is. It is flying off the screen so fast that I have to stop talking about what I'm talking about. And I like to talk.
Uncle Ron says the winner's the first person whose printer catches on fire.
I might light that one on fire. Never let the machine win. Like wants to know which printer is the terrible one. It's the ANET E12, and it's little brother the E10. So. Inside the Mind of Matt says, dinner time, send you an email. No need to check now, but make sure you watch my last video, at least the intro. I have it already queued up, Matt. I will definitely watch that. So, yeah, no, I could see us doing a big collaboration like that. Yeah, for you guys who don't know, Hawk 3D Proto is Ben, and and we're excited to have him here. That printer and a sledgehammer would be an awesome video. I'm thinking about running it over with my truck. Except for the aluminum extrusion's pretty good on it. You know? I don't want to give away too much. I want you guys to be forced to watch my review video on it, but the bed is literally shaped like this. It was when I leveled the bed in the 4 corners and I moved the print head to the middle, I could put 8 sheets of paper underneath it and not drag. So yeah, that's how bad it was.
On top of it, or is it just straight up aluminum?
It's an aluminum. It's an aluminum. It's just like the AA, but it's just an aluminum with the heat on the bottom, the heater element on the bottom. So, and I put a piece of mirror on there, but the mirror would rock diagonally like this.
That's weird.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Happy Ron said, "Save the happy extrusions."
Save the happy extrusions. Happy extruder Ron is in the house.
He's been in.
Oh, I'm trying to watch. That's your job, you know. Your job is to watch the chat.
Actually, so 3D Matter Makers just said he used to do a show on Twitch called What's Dark and Furry, where another streamer would interview new cosplay streamers weekly. You should do something similar. I'm gonna use this for a second of self-promotion. I've got a friend and I that have been working on another project. We did something a long time ago and it didn't pan out because we didn't know how to promote and stuff like that. But we're going to be doing something. I won't reveal what it is, but I will toss a link to the new channel that's going to be hosting the content in a couple of weeks. We're waiting for the last of the stuff to show up. So I'm going to take this opportunity to tie into that, the whole interviewee type deal, and toss this link up here.
Absolutely. That's the point of these streams, is for well, to bring awareness to both of us. So
yeah.
When Walter called me the other day and asked me if I wanted to do an interview stream with him, and we got on there, I actually gained 9 subscriptions after that. And it's funny because I'm in, like, I chat in Walter's live streams every day because it's on while I'm working. And so I constantly chat with the people that are in his chats, but apparently they didn't really know who I was. And then once they got a look at this, oh yeah, subscription all the way.
That's the money maker.
Oh yeah, I seen my name pop up a lot, but it was just Nightbot. Aluminum bed can be straightened. I should probably make a video for nobody to watch. Well, if you do make that video, let me know. But what I did was I actually took the bed off of the printer 800 times, but I put it on my table here, which is what I consider to be relatively flat. I started stacking paper under the corners and pushing down on the middle, and it just wasn't. I didn't want to bend it too far. I didn't want it to go the other way. But I ended up, Matt, from How I Do It, gave me the idea. Somebody had made a bed jack for the CR-10. So I went and got one of those and modified it a little bit and put it under the middle. So the bed is fairly flat now, but the thing still, I mean, if you bring the X or the Z axis up halfway and start extruding, it'll skip. So.
Rover said they ran screaming, my eyes, I'm blind.
Oh yeah, that one you read out loud, huh? Tony Ryan says he's not hitting the like button until Xander tells a joke. You guys are killing us. So we want to do. I'm gonna do a little self promotion here, James. We want to do a not necessarily a segment, but we're going to have a thing where if you would like to present a joke to us to use on a Xander's Thing Thursday, you can email it to us. Don't post it publicly because that gives it away already. But email it to Glenn with 2 N's, GLENN, at funking3d.com. Thomas says your mic's not working. Is your battery dead? But you can email the joke in. Yeah, your batteries are dead.
Wow.
And if we use your joke on a Xander's Thing Thursday, we will credit you in the video. We will give you a shout out in the video. So that way, if it's really terrible, you have to take the blame for it.
Don't worry, this wasn't my joke. It was such and such. It was James's joke.
All right, you guys should be able to hear him now. So, or you can call the Fun King joke line at 1-800-FUN-KING. Yeah, I don't know. If somebody calls that, I'd like to know what it calls into, but I'm not calling it. So, but I did get a phone number. I did get a phone number for Fun King, and I'm not going to give it out because I don't want you guys calling it right now. But we're looking at having it where people can actually call into the show and we can punch you up, which is what this cord laying here is for. But right now, when I did it, the audio was like really, really quiet on there. So, so that's why we were looking into the Discord server. So, what you do if the middle of your aluminum bed is bent down, dipped? What do you do if the middle of it? Well, that's exactly what the problem with mine is the bed is dipped. I can't. Let me see if I can find real quick the bed jack. And somebody, I think Rover will know what it is. He usually chimes it in real quick. I can never remember the name of it, but it's a pretty easy little print, and then it just requires it's a wedge jack, but it has another name because of who designed it, or JLCW jack. And there's a couple of different versions of it. I'm not going to post the whole entire link in the chat because YouTube screws up the links. So, but there's the thing for it right there. And that's what it's called. Oh, I keep bumping my mic off.
Xander still hasn't told a joke, though.
1-800-FUN-KING is a medical alert system. I qualify for a free system.
Wait, what is it?
Uncle Ron said 1-800-FUN-KING is a medical alert system. I qualify for a free system. You know, like the help, I've fallen and I can't get up. Sholem said 1-800-FUN-KING is an ambassador auto savings program.
Thanks for swinging by, Paul. Paul Cumber is leaving. He's had enough of us.
Oh, bye, Paul. Bless you, brother. Adam81 said, I called 1-800-FUN-KING and the robot on the phone thanked me for calling, and as if I or someone in my household was 50 years or older. Oh, that's just so funny.
And then scroll it up a little, please.
Robbie Mack is out. See you later, Robbie Mack. Thank you for being here.
Thomas at 3D Printing Llama said out laughing, if you are an adult, type in 1-800-FUN-KING in Google. There are machines, Fun King machine.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Oh, my.
And Ron Floyd is leaving us. Thank you for being here, Ron. It's much appreciated.
I'm going to start a review channel just to review whatever I find when I search Fun King.
Oh, I can only imagine. But Happy Shooter said he called and they're promoting hearing aids. They're going to be like, why are we getting all these calls all of a sudden? They're looking at their metrics and it's like, psh. Yeah, well, somebody that's brave and is over 18, dial 1-800-GEEK SQUAD with no Q in it. No, I'm sorry, no U. SQAD. No U. Yeah, it was like this 70-year-old lady.
I'm going to do it right now. I'm not going to put it over the mic. You've said it like 16 times.
Yeah, no, definitely don't do it on the mic. Mute your mic.
Yeah.
I have children in the house.
You should put it up to my face so people can see my reaction. So it's 1-800-GEEK SQUAD. Is that
well, it's supposed to be 1-800-GEEK SQUAD, SQUAD, but leave the U out. So SQAD. Which the story goes, one of the employees in my Best Buy store was giving the lady the number to Geek Squad, and she's like, well, I don't know how to dial that. And he said, well, here, let me transpose it for you. And he was looking at the phone, giving her the numbers, missed the U. And she came back in an hour later and went up to the AP desk where the asset protection guy is and said, I need to speak with a manager. And the manager came up, who is this guy, Dave, he's this big guy. And she's like, I want you to dial this number. And he's like, why? And she goes, I want you to dial the number. And yeah, when he did, and he did it on speaker, which is even funnier. And like that day, every employee inside of our Best Buy store was calling that number to see what it was.
I'm doing it right now. I'm going to mute my mic.
Okay, but we're going to watch your face. Watch the number have changed, and it's not the same thing anymore. Because this was like 6 years ago.
I got actual Geek Squad.
Then you didn't do it right. Or they bought up more numbers.
It's possible. Maybe so many people complained that they were getting that, because that does happen, especially with the web URLs.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. Let me see if I screwed it up.
I will tell you that they used to answer the phone, hello, Pilgrim customer. And yeah, you can figure it out from there. Adam 81 said, I called it and actually got Best Buy. I wonder if they bought the number.
They probably did.
Sean said, do it on mic. Don't be scared.
Well, I don't want to do that to Xander.
No, absolutely not.
It's going to be Xander's Ruined Childhood Thursday.
You know, the great part is there's
Thursday.
still 42 people hanging out and enjoying us calling random 800 numbers. But no, I just think it would be really cool to be able to once in a while have like a guest call in.
For calling Geek Squad. Merci d'avoir appelé la Geek Squad. For service in English, please press 1.
Yeah, they must have bought the phone number that was retired.
Yeah. Bummer. That's too bad because it was.
Now I'm just gonna have to go through every single 1-800 number I can think of until I find one that hits on the delivery material you promised me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you dig around, you'll find your own 800 numbers.
If you dial 1-800 Geek Squid.
I don't know, but yeah, the lady who I mean, she took it in good humor, but it was just really pretty funny. So
3D
enjoying might be a stretch.
3D printing kid might.
Who have me call in? Yeah. Well, see, here's the issue with that. Once I start giving that phone number out, it's out there. Like it's not a burner number.
I think what we do is maybe if we want to have like a dial-in thing for one of these shows, we would set up something like Skype or something where you can start up a call between two contacts type thing. Versus,
well, see, that's what we were thinking with the Discord server, because you can set up Discord to be the output of Discord can be an input into OBS.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you can do the chat through that. But you know, I just thought it'd be cool. You know, because like the number just forwards to my cell phone, which I don't answer my cell phone if I don't recognize the number anyway. But I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool to be able to have people call in once in a while. You know, just do like, okay, for the next half hour, and then limit people to just a couple of minutes. I also thought it would be cool. Like one of our local radio stations does this thing where they have they call them dispatches, where people record just a little short blurb and send them in. And then they play them live. And I thought it would be fun to do that too. But I would have to have somebody pre-screening them. So, because, while I find things like that to be funny, I am not going to ruin my family channel for humor.
I just got a message from Sean at IC3D. He is watching us at the skate park. He's on mobile right now, so let's go say hi to him. Let's hope he doesn't break anything. We give him a shout out. He gets all distracted and he ends up
crashing.
Yeah.
I find it funny though that he messaged you and not me, and that he could message you but couldn't chat. I don't know if I like him
on Twitter with a link to the live stream like 20 minutes ago or whatever, because he said he wanted to try and swing by it. I thought maybe he missed the message on Twitter, so I'll send it here. So
all right,
it was to his work account too. I'm sure they get spammed with lots of stuff.
All right, I'll let it slide. I'll say hi, Sean.
I'll start another 3D printing channel where we call those 1-800 numbers, and we also do 3D printing related to what comes up in those 1-800 numbers.
Oh, that could be really scary.
I think the FL Sun would be perfectly suited. I don't even know if it's in the shot anymore, but I think that would be perfectly suited for that type of application.
Yeah, you got to get some of that flesh-colored flexible filament.
Oh God.
Country 3D, Uncle Walt said, well, y'all have kept me company all the way home. So that's good. He made it home. Means he dropped his daughter off in Gainesville and then made it the rest of the way there.
We got to take care of Walter. I recently found out that I'm Walter's dad. So.
What?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, I feel bad. I missed all that child support all those
Which
years. But
makes it kind of weird because if we're brothers, that would make me Walter's uncle, but yet I call him Uncle Walter.
it's fine.
It's going to create a vortex. I'm not sure how to handle all of this.
I 3D printed a time machine sometime in the future. I printed out flexible material. It's a flex capacitor instead of a flux capacitor.
So now Uncle Walt is cousin Walt?
Well, he'd be
Has an
nephew
Uncle
Walt.
Walt. Fine, don't worry about it. If you try to think about it too hard, your head will implode.
Yeah, it's not
I
until
think
you
it
get
already
around to
did.
starting to call people Uncle Daddy that you have to worry about it.
That sounds like a film I don't want to see.
I think it has banjos in it.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Canadian Maker Project said you can get an 800 number, that you can see who's calling, and you can also pre-screen the caller. The only thing is, to do any type of pre-screening, I would have to have, and then I have to figure out some way to dump it. Like I'd have to have a dump capability in there too. So I might have to really think this through.
I found a couple of companies too that allow you to have a phone number that people can call into, and it's all software on your computer that you use for entering calls and stuff like that. So it's kind of like the Skype setup but it was cheap. Like I found one that I would be able to base out of Toronto in Canada. It was like $2 a month or something ridiculous like that. I forget the name of it. So it had B in it, and their symbol was like a little, like it almost looked like the Honey Nut Cheerios B or whatever. So.
Yeah, because like you can get the disposable email addresses that work just for like 10 minutes or whatever, and then they're gone forever.
Like a burner phone.
Yeah, but I don't know if anybody's got a burner phone number where you could say, all right, well, this phone number is going to work for the next 10 minutes, and then it's just gone. But I mean, honestly, if it's somebody that I was going to have call in, which I don't know, maybe this works just as well. But like I was going to have Chris Riley call in for Friday night stream to announce his giveaway, and he just told me to do it. But that's
He's
why
like, no, I give you the material, you do the rest.
He's like, no, that sounds good, but just you do it. But but yeah, I don't know. It may come to fruition and it may not. Maybe why nobody else does it, I don't know.
Xander, you have to tell a joke.
Okay, Google, help me, please.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but
I need a joke.
Okay, Google. Did it pick up my thing?
I don't know. Let's try it. Do it.
Okay, Google. Find me a funny joke. No?
Nah. Okay, Google. Tell me a joke.
What did the vinaigrette say to the refrigerator? Close the door, I'm dressing.
The jokes aren't really the funny part. It's the sound effects that it plays afterwards that crack me up. So, and this is going to be some riveting YouTube right here. But okay, Google, what does the fox say?
Ring ding 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 a ding and wah pop 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 a pow. Or so I heard.
Or so I heard.
I don't know if the joke stuff works on my BlackBerry or not. Everybody laughs at me like nobody actually has a BlackBerry. You have a BlackBerry. That is legitimately a BlackBerry. I hope I didn't just give away any of my personal information because I didn't check what was on the screen before
I don't think it was clear enough to be seen.
Okay, Google. It's not even doing anything now. Wow. Saying okay, Google froze my BlackBerry. That's awesome.
That's Google. Is the FBI listening? I don't know if that's actually a joke, but okay, Google. Is the FBI listening?
No government entity has direct access to our users' information. Respect for the privacy and security of your data underpins our approach to responding to any legal requests we might get. You can learn more in Google's Transparency Report.
Too long, did not listen.
I honestly doubt that.
All right, we just put Daniel Norrie to sleep. He says, "All right, people, awesome stuff as always. Got to go count some sheep or benchies." Thank you, Daniel, for being here. Thank you for the super chat, brother. It is much appreciated. Hope to see you again in person very, very soon.
Okay, Google.
Shalom says we've reduced to Google entertaining
Tell me
us.
a joke.
Google blocks BlackBerry devices.
Ask, can you rap?
Tell Google to rap. You guys are killing me here. Okay, Google. Can you rap?
I can rhyme. I even have an original poem I've been working on. An ode to search. I love to search, I cannot lie. I'll search it all, I am not shy. Search for pictures, search for pie. I search, at least I try.
Bum, 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 wow. I don't think I can get mine to do anything fun. It's an Android-based phone, so I figured it would. Like,
Mike Willie said that's why nobody has a BlackBerry.
Who said that?
Mike Willie said that.
Okay, well,
So
this
YT
is an adult, or this is a family-friendly show, so I'm just going to do this. You can fill in the blank.
Uncle Ron
said, I asked Alexa, what does the fox say? She said, everyone asks what the fox say, but no one asks how the fox feels.
Okay, then let's just ask Google.
Okay,
We don't have an Alexa.
Tell me a joke.
Up to Google.
I need to find someone that is really good at Tinkercad. That would be Chuck Hellebuck from Filament Friday. I think he is about the most awesome Tinkercadder I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I bought a BlackBerry is because it has a physical keyboard, and I never got proficient at typing on a touchscreen. My wife got tired of listening to me type, and then like realized halfway through that I screwed up half the stuff, and then explicit, and yeah.
So you're saying that the BlackBerry is for people who are special?
Yes. Yep. 100% true. I am special.
Dude,
my mom always told me I was special.
Google stuff is fun, but I don't want to.
Why can't you have no hair?
So Becky Dufferin says, "Sing the My Little Pony theme song." We would get demonetized.
Oh yeah, because you can sing that well. I just sing it for you right now. My Little Pony. That's the only part I know. I know they say My Little Pony.
I didn't even know that much, so thank you.
Or wait, isn't there a new one? I don't know.
Xander just said Alexa, and she told a joke. Apparently, you're controlling Uncle Ron's Alexa.
Alexa, go out of the house.
Alexa, order 10 rolls of AIO filament for Fun King 3D. That could have just messed with like everybody. Uncle Ron, Xander, stop talking to my Alexa.
Alexa, search why is the world flat?
3D printing kid said, My Little Pony, skinny and bony. I sing on all my streams. I'll never be monetized. I don't think they're as strict as we joke around about it being, but it's just,
So, funny story. I've been waiting for the day where somebody recognizes me out in public from one of my things. I'm like, it's like 1,000 people. The chances of anybody happening right now is like pretty low, right? But there was a time I walked out and somebody's like, "Oh, you're James, right?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, I've seen you on YouTube," and I'm like, "Oh, cool. Which video? It was one of my music videos.
Oh,
and, yeah. And they're like, "Yeah, you're doing Mart." I'm like, "Oh my god, that'll get you demonetized just because it's in bad taste."
That's pretty funny.
I have a special musical ability, everybody. It's
Go ahead, give everybody a little taste of that.
What?
Give everybody a little taste of that.
Okay, just once though. Glenn loves it.
James has a whole YouTube channel just for that.
I haven't put anything up in a long time, though. I've not put anything up in a long time.
Oh, sorry. That mute button doesn't work for them.
You tried to mute me? Is that what you said?
No, I had to cough, and I went to hit the mute button to cough, but the mute button doesn't work. It only works in ABS. OBS.
Nobody knows what to say to that. 3D Matter is like,
You're like, unsub right now.
The funny part will be they'll unsub you because they're watching it on your live stream. James skates by without any damage.
What the heck? That was great. That's from Ron the Happy Extruder.
Ron gets me. Thanks, Ron. You're a good guy.
That's awesome.
Well, the best part is I've got like 30 or 40 videos because like people are like, "Oh, how hard is it to learn a new song?" I'm like, I can hear a song once and do it. It's just like it sounds approximate. You know, it's like
everybody's got to have a hobby and a skill.
And I met a bunch of people and they're like, "Oh, that's got to be easy to do." And then they come to talk to me a couple days later and like, my face hurts from trying to do that. I don't know how you do that. I don't know. Leathery skin, I guess.
Well, and then, I mean, the whole thing is like you're hearing pitch because like you hear yourself different than everybody else does. So like you're hearing that to get the notes right is phenomenal in itself.
Some of the first ones that I did, I'm like, it sounds pitch perfect in my head. And then like watching the video afterwards, it's like, it's not quite right. So I don't know. It's like somewhere in between.
Don, the 3D German, or the German printing nerd is in the house. I got your stuff all boxed up. It'll go to the post office this week, Don.
I need some music for my channel. Yeah, I can do that.
Hey, can you I don't even know, what do you call this? Like, you know, can you flick your face a theme for my Mailbag Monday, please?
I don't remember the theme. I could probably do Xander's Thing Thursday.
There isn't a theme. We need one. You'd have to create an original one.
You have to do Thing Thursday. Do it now.
That made my wife laugh when I said that.
I've never tried it, so this may not sound right off the bat, but it's too many of the same note in a row.
Now, real talent would be is if you could do that and sing the theme at the same time.
There's nothing no, I just sound like if I try to do both, I'll do neither very well.
Don't think you're the one that needs to apologize right now, Walter. The stream has gone wonky. It has. Let me tell you guys though. So obviously I was up very late Friday night because when I get done with you guys in the live stream, I then spend about another hour answering emails and tweets and direct messages on the Twitters, and then I still need to unwind before I can go to sleep. So I didn't get to sleep until after 2 on Friday night, Saturday morning. Then Saturday, I had to get up right away in the morning for my 2 children. And then I drank too much caffeine yesterday, so I probably only got 2 hours of sleep all night last night. So I'm a little tired. So I think this stream has gone pretty well for being as tired as I am. I haven't once said anybody killed anybody else like I did that Friday night stream.
I'm not going to take any more face music requests right now because I think we've reached the limit of before people start unsubbing.
For our Twitch show, I changed the lyrics and re-recorded the Fraggle Rock theme song as our theme song.
Come to Fraggle Rock.
I don't know. Would you still get gigged for that? I mean, it would kind of fall under the...
No, it falls under parody law, so you can get away with it.
Parody, yeah.
You probably still wouldn't want to use the actual like music from it and then like record over top of it because it would get auto flagged and then you'd have to fight it. But it is a transformative work which falls under fair use.
Yeah, because I ran into that with my T-shirts. I had a lot of parody T-shirts, and you get cease and desist letters, and then I would just put my hand in a copy machine and send them a picture of that. But yeah, so hey, I'm printing stuff, waiting for a filament change. What else am I to do?
It's true, Tony.
Is that really the only reason you're here? Is because you got nothing else to do?
That's why everybody's here.
Now I'm gonna go cry
Nobody's
myself.
first choice in entertainment.
Do you realize we've been doing this for like 2 hours?
Like almost dead on 2 hours.
Yeah, the time flies so fast when you do these streams. So my wife always goes like, "How long are you gonna do this?" Now just an hour, and then like 4 hours later.
Oh, do you remember that one live stream that we did that went till like 2 o'clock in the morning? And it was like we were supposed to be done at like 11. I went upstairs. My wife's like, "What happened to 11 o'clock?" I'm like, it's 11 o'clock somewhere.
We had to cover a different time zones. 11 o'clock.
That's right. Yep.
Which, by the way, what are we doing for dinner? Oh, okay.
Okay, let's get done. I'm
Yeah,
hungry.
so we should probably go ahead and.
Oh, that's a mistake. I ate my food before I came on here.
Yeah, well, we went to lunch with Uncle Walt, but like we went kind of later than I normally eat lunch. So then, at the point that we were starting this, I wasn't really hungry. Now I could eat on stream, like I did my cake Friday night, and Xander and Grant, these two jerks, neither one of them told me I had chocolate in the corner of my mouth
I didn't see
the
it.
whole
To
night.
be honest,
And
I
if you-
did not see
If
it.
you go watch the video, like if you blow it up full screen, you can totally see these like dark chocolatey marks right here.
Walter just said, "Bet it, not pizza."
Oh, I don't know. That pizza was so good.
No, Walter said, "Bet."
Bet
Yeah.
it not pizza, right? Like I bet you're not gonna have pizza for dinner, but I could
I know.
totally eat some more pizza.
That's not what I thought.
What's
he
that?
said.
You could do pizza every night, pretty much.
Oh yeah, I'm yeah. As long as it's not the same pizza.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so I ordered the joystick for the Pac-Man arcade cabinet for Uncle Jesse, and they asked me to specify the color, so I said red because the actual one's red. I don't think that's considered red. That's decisively pink.
It's
Oh, yeah,
it's a
that-
light red.
that looks awful. It is
So-
light red.
I have a red one to replace it with, so I guess I'll save this in the event that I have to build a Miss Pac-Man cabinet at some point. Because
Well, I was wondering if you could paint it. Would paint stick to that?
paint will stick to it, but I mean, if you're using it constantly, there's constantly motion stuff on it, it's gonna flake off over time.
What about that that Krylon Fusion paint that's made for
Oh,
plastic?
the stuff that's supposed to bond to melamine and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Well, I think I do have a joystick that has a red ball, and it's just not the short shaft like this one. So I think I'll just swap them for now.
Swap
And
the
then,
ball out.
yeah, I also consider I could probably 3D print one for like a future project. I won't do that for his because I don't know how comfortable in the hand it's going to be. But
Don, the German printing nerd, said someone bought me $96 US in coffee. I don't know who, but I wish to say if you are here, thank you and God bless you. That's awesome. There's just so much. There's so much stuff like that in this community. That's so awesome. So
3D Pink Mafia Edition. If Heather reached out to me, I might be willing to put something together for her.
oh, that would be pretty awesome. A 3D Mafia, 3D Pink Mafia Miss Pac-Man.
Well, I have built a Miss Pac-Man cabinet in the past, so I mean I've got experience with it. That one turned out really nice. I don't know if you saw the picture of it on Twitter or not.
I don't
It's a
know.
full size one.
Like a full stand-up one?
Well, no, but it's like they wanted a bar top, but they wanted it to be Miss Pac-Man theme. So I took the Miss Pac-Man arcade cabinet design, and then I just cut off the bottom when I actually did the design.
Oh, cool.
It's
No,
not
I
3D
don't
printed,
think
it's
I've
wood
seen-
and all that. But do you have the Twitters on your Kurt machine?
I do.
Let me see if I can find it quick. I sent it to somebody not too long ago. Let me mute my mic.
3D print it and poly smooth it. Yeah, 3D print a new ball in red, and then 3D print it and poly smooth it. I'm really curious about that. I like Polymaker's Poly Light PLA. I haven't tried any of the Poly Smooth stuff. I don't have the smoother, but you know, if Polymaker wanted to kick me one of those, I'd play with it.
We still have
Heather's
film.
going to print a pink punk Flintstone. Oh, pink Flintstone car we just designed. That'll be cool. James, print it in TPU with high density. It will have a slight give, but still be sturdy. Ron from Ron's Place in the house. I think I'm going to print a bar top arcade. I want to play Super Mario Brothers. Well, James has got some good designs on his channel. When I got home, no TiVo Little Monster. I don't know what is going on with shipping right now, Walter. I mean, my stuff still says that there's no delivery date on it. I don't know if I can pull that up right here right now, but it's a little ridiculous. For those of you guys who don't know, which is most of you, my maker box for this month still has not shown up, and it makes me angry. Why is this not giving me the whole website? It's like it's giving me a...
Okay, I sent it to you in the Twitters. Also, thanks to Adam81. He got to the picture as quickly as I did. So when I was sending it off, I got the message from him about it.
Did you direct to me?
Yeah, yeah, through DM.
Okay. Oh, that is sweet.
That was a commission that I had for somebody who wanted to give it to their mother for Christmas. So
Oh, you did a really good job on that.
I had to paint it inside though, so I was coughing blue for like a week after the fact.
That's MDF?
Yep, yeah. So I used wood filler on the edge of it because I couldn't find trim that would fit the MDF that I had. So I used wood filler, smoothed the edges out, then sanded it to a slight curve. Then I taped off the edges and painted it pink.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. I don't know. I know somehow I can share a screen on here.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna toss it on Imager, but then people have to click on it or whatever. I don't know an easy way to put it on the screen.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it right here, right now.
Jason wants to know if...
There, look at that. Now everybody can see that.
Jason wants to know if you are going to turn green, Glenn. We will not like you when you're angry. Hulk reference.
Yeah, but why? What?
He said you said you were mad about the maker box not being here.
Oh, that I'm angry.
They're not done sitting on it.
Yeah, no, they like to sit on my boxes, and I guess they still needed a booster seat. All right, let me see if I can try to put this back now to the camera.
No.
Oh, there. Okay.
No, wait. Yeah.
Okay. Now we're back. Okay. So now everybody got to see it. Everybody got to look at my Twitter DMs.
Glad I didn't send you anything inappropriate during that time, eh?
Oh, those are the earlier ones.
That's on the extra special message board, though.
Uncle Ron said I can send you pictures of what's in the box so you can shoot your video. Don't you guys know that our Maker Box video isn't really about opening the Maker Box? It's about having Zach in the video.
But we want this stuff, so it's not gonna.
Well, yeah, we definitely want this stuff, but it just makes me so angry that makes me so angry. And then when the carrier, I got a new mail carrier, and when she showed up yesterday, she's like, just one package, which was a roll of filament. I'm like, there should be 2 more. She's like, I don't have 2 more, and I'm like,
probably lost.
And one of the things that I'm waiting on is some parts from China, which if they don't show up, they'll get replaced. It'll just take me 2 months to get them replaced.
That pigeon is slow.
The stream is really derailing now. I'm now just checking the status of my packages. All right, Walter says, all right, guys, I have to unload the car and pack up a printer. It's been fun. We all have to do it together soon. You know, it's funny. I always think that we should get a group together to do one of these, and then I kind of feel like I'm stepping on the Friday night 3D printing group's toes. You know, like that we're stealing what they do.
But no, it will just be on Thursdays.
What's that? That's right.
Well, then
it would have to be on a Saturday night.
No, that's evil. Sunday.
All right, Matt. Matt, I'm reading the chat. All right, James, should we wrap this up?
Well, probably. Xander looks like he's getting hungry. I think you should get him some Brussels sprouts. He looks like he could use Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I could always use Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, my package from China says now the 30th, that it'll be here on the 30th. And my maker box is sitting somewhere in another county and it hasn't even moved. So
It's sitting right there.
all right, guys. Well, I guess this is going to be it. This was
fry.
This was I'm so tired.
These are too far and few between. Few and far between.
Yeah, well, you and I definitely need to do this more often. We should do this once in a while, just you and I off the air, so that we can catch up on some things. It's a much easier way to communicate than typing in Twitter chat.
Plus, then we don't have to censor our top secret projects from the world.
Right. But great turnout. We're down to 38, but that's still a great turnout. It's been a crazy week for us. We technically streamed 3 times this week, once with Walter, once Friday night, and then now. So that was a pretty good. I mean, I guess technically it's now a different week, but overall,
no, the week. Technically, if you mean like we stream 3 times in a week,
within a week's time.
Yeah, like you and me, like the first time we streamed, that would be the first day of the week.
Okay.
I was smart.
Okay. All right, James. You got anything else to tell these people?
Nah. I think they've said, or they've heard it all at this point. They're probably tired of my ugly.
Should we not even sign off? We'll just hang up. Like, it's just like, boop, we're out.
I don't even wait for you to finish. I just click the leave.
Oh. Oh. Did he just really?
I didn't know if he was gonna pop back in after that or not, but
I don't know how I feel.
That was pretty funny. So, yeah, I guess James is done. Thank you for being here, James. Thanks for doing this. Let's do it again. We want to thank everybody. I don't know what you're doing, but you just knock it off.
I'm just trying to stop the broadcast.
Yeah, just knock it off. So thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. If you're not subscribing to James, you just have no idea what you're missing. So go and subscribe to James and watch his videos so you know what you want to be missing. And no, seriously, go check out his channel. He does make some good stuff. And kind of same goes for everybody that's in the chat. A lot of the people that are in the chat are also content creators. Share the loves share the loves amongst yourselves. Subscribe to one another. Check out each other's channels. You never know what you're going to find. The only way this community is going to get bigger and better is for all of us to support each other.
And for me to get a Twitter.
For you to get a Twitter? I doubt that. Okay. So thank you guys for everything, for being here. Thank you guys that through the super chats tonight. It is always greatly appreciated. It goes a long way. It lets me con Xander into doing stuff when I wave money in front of it. No, not really. But thank you guys. You got anything?
No.
Xander's Thing Thursday on Thursday at noon. There will not be a Mailbag Monday this week. It just didn't work out. And otherwise, we got some stuff coming and it'll be great. Love you all. Please be safe out there. And as always, print on.